So after 18 days of traveling with Maki and Oil, Goku and Vegeta finally make it to planet Cereal. Then Maki gives them a rough location of where Granolah could be located, then the duo goes off to go fight him. Then Maki tells Oil to go watch the fight, where he's going to relay back to her what's going on, and she also reveals that Alec and Gas are about to arrive on planet Cereal as well, and then we cut to them, and Alec's like, I haven't been here for 40 years, and Gas says, my memories of this planet are not particularly good ones, and then Alec says, it's fine, Gas, you've changed a lot since then, it won't be like last time. So I think this is pretty interesting here, because I guess it's implying that Gas may have taken some L's on planet Cereal or something back in the day. Also, it's kind of implying that maybe Gas wasn't as always strong as he is now. Regardless, I think we're going to get some more backstory on Gas in the next chapter, and this of course is setting up that Gas is going to fight either one of or the entire trio, you know, featured in this chapter here, which I talked about in my previous review. I think it's almost guaranteed at this point. So then we see Goku and Vegeta flying through planet Cereal, and they're spotting everything that the audience has been able to spot these last couple chapters, like the original Cerulean cities that were destroyed by the Saiyans, but also the new Cerulean cities encased in those bubbles after the Heaters had sold the planet to that race of Animal Crossing dudes. But out of nowhere, these beams start coming at them, and Goku and Vegeta are barely able to dodge these things. And Vegeta's like, trace them to their origin, that's where we'll find him. And him is Granolah, of course. He's like sniping them from various spots, it seems. In the previous chapter, Maki told Granolah that Goku and Vegeta were assassins hired by Frieza to take him down, so he knew that they were coming. So then Goku and Vegeta get to the spot where the shots were coming from, but it's revealed that nobody's there. Then the beams start coming down from the sky on them, leading them to have to dodge them again. Then they start coming from the ground once again. Then Vegeta says, you're saying he's moving faster than we can keep up with? And Goku's like, but that's not, and then boom, he gets shot in the back of the neck. And he drops down to the ground, like ready for the 10 count. And Vegeta says he struck a vital point with such accuracy from that far away. So we're entering the secret power scale of Dragon Ball here. This is like the ultimate tier of power, honestly, that really isn't discussed too much. It's like, it's one thing to be able to do Ultra Instinct and Hakai and blow up galaxies and whatever, but if you really want to get to the nuanced, unbeatable aspect of Dragon Ball, it's when they start introducing the vital points. And completely understandable that Granolah would be aware of this stuff since he is the strongest warrior in the universe. And also, it's pretty much further elaborated later on in the chapter how Granolah's fight IQ has adapted to his rapid power leveling. So then Vegeta gives Goku a sensu bean and says, we only brought 2 beans with us. And that begs the question of like, why? Couldn't you have just brought a bag? Or is only Krillin allowed to do that? But I get it. I'm sure the reasoning here was that Vegeta didn't want to have too much of a handicap bringing like a whole bag of sensu beans, so he limited it to like 1 each, I guess, maybe. But also the fact that he's pointing out that they only brought 2 means that the other one will be used eventually for sure, and will also raise the stakes afterwards, because it will mean that they have none left, and they're probably going to be in a situation where they're going to need more than 2. So then Goku gets up and he's like, sorry Vegeta, and Vegeta says, you rely on Ultra Instinct too much. If you haven't perfected it yet, then dodge using your mind. He's like, okay, you're right. And then he goes into Super Saiyan and seems to spot Granolah and shoots him with a ki blast. But right before it hits him, Granolah does like his own variation of instant teleportation and winds up behind Goku and Vegeta. And Goku's like, instant teleportation? No, it's even faster than that. And I like Granolah's response to this because he's like, I have no name for the technique. It's just a small fraction of the power that elevated me to the strongest in the universe. And I think this might be a recurring thing that we're seeing from Granolah here, as to where he could use these techniques and abilities that may or may not be like the same exact thing that we've seen other characters use in the series. But it's not really made clear if it is, or if Granolah is just so powerful that he's using just his own version of those things, which may or may not literally be those said techniques, if that makes sense. But anyway, Granolah gives some quick exposition on himself. He says, I'm Granolah, the last of the Ceruleans. And Goku and Vegeta had apparently never heard of this race before. And then Granolah acknowledges that they are the last of the Saiyans, and then he hits them with like this massive attack that causes this huge crater. They're able to dodge it at the last second, but then Vegeta says it was similar to destruction. So this goes back to what I was just talking about, how Granolah is so powerful that he's kind of just developed his own variations of existing like highest tier moves. And I was also talking about this in my review like 2 or 3 chapters back, when after Granolah like got his power up from the dragon, he did this one attack that seemed like he was using hakai. And at the time I said that it's possible that as a result of his rapid power leveling, he just somehow acquired hakai. But here it seems like maybe it's not exactly hakai, but like I've been trying to say, it's like his own version of it in a way. Same thing goes for Ultra Instinct, because he was kind of doing his own variation of Ultra Instinct before as well. Then Goku says, does that mean that he can use our techniques? And Vegeta says, ridiculous. So it's still up in the air at this point. But anyway, then Goku and Vegeta decide that they are not going to work together against Granolah. What a surprise. Vegeta's like, I came here to prove my superiority over you. You may fight him first. I mean, he did, you know, get that first hit on you, so you need to get some payback. So then Vegeta goes and chills on top of like this building, and he says, this Granolah guy seems to be up to something. I'll keep an eye on the situation for now. There may be more to this than another villain to defeat. So Vegeta is already kind of aware that Granolah might not be everything that Maki is making him out to be, possibly. I think Vegeta is being set up to be the person that's going to like put everything together here, and maybe be the one that gets Granolah over to their side, or just brings everybody to a mutual understanding. So then Goku goes Super Saiyan God, and he starts to fight with Granolah, and is surprisingly able to dodge Granolah's initial attack. But then Granolah starts to like overwhelm Goku, because clearly he's many tiers above Super Saiyan God, or at least it's implied so at this point. Then he just starts using Ultra Instinct, and this is pretty cool because this is something that I guess we all wanted to see, right? And I speculated about this in my previous review, about how now that Goku is practicing Ultra Instinct, aside from going into the transformation that accompanies it, that likely meant that he was not only going to use it in his base form, but we were probably going to see it in like his other Super Saiyan forms as well. And while watching this, Vegeta says, I see, it becomes more accurate when used in conjunction with a Super Saiyan form. So as we saw, he was still pretty rusty using it in his base form, but he gets more accurate with it when he powers up. So then Granolah gets a little frustrated with Goku using Ultra Instinct successfully against him, and it eventually gets to the point of where like he hits Goku in the stomach, and we see that his right eye had like tracked him at that point, and this just wrecks Goku, and he like falls over, and he's down for the 10 count again. And Granolah's like, your reaction time is incredibly fast. I could tell that your body moves on its own before your brain even processes incoming attacks. However, even a flawless fighter cannot hide his vital points. As you dodged, I observed your blood flow and muscle movements, and I learned exactly where to strike. This right eye of mine is the sharpest in the universe. It sees all. So yeah, going back to the hidden highest tier I was talking about with vital points and stuff. But now we're getting more of an explanation as to what's going on with Granolah's right eye, because it was revealed a couple chapters back that there's significance to the cerulean right eye. But it was more so implied that it was like helping him with being a sniper, but now he straight up has like Superman vision maybe, but can also like read power levels with it too, because he realizes that Goku still hasn't used the full extent of his power yet. Granolah says to Goku, as long as the other Saiyan is still alive, I can extract Frieza's location from him. It's no skin off my nose to kill you where you stand. And Goku's like, Frieza's location? What are you talking about? Granolah's like, don't play dumb with me. I've sacrificed my lifespan in order to take revenge, so I won't let you waste my precious time here. And Goku's like, revenge? Hang on, I thought you were the bad guy. Granolah's like, shut up and take this, and he like powers up. So this also goes back into what I was talking about in my previous review, about how all of this can easily be fixed by them just having a conversation, since this is just built on a flimsy case of misunderstanding and deception. And we were getting there, but Goku just didn't push it as much as he should have. Which is understandable, because they still need to have a fight here. It just can't be resolved by talk no jutsu instantly. But anyway, in response to Granolah powering up, Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, and they start going at it. And it's surprisingly pretty competitive. Like, it doesn't seem like one is really getting all too much the better of the other. So I don't think this necessarily means that like Granolah is as strong as Super Saiyan Blue, because that wouldn't make sense, since Super Saiyan Blue, you know, wasn't even close to being the strongest in the universe. So I'm sure there's a lot more that Granolah has to reveal here. He might even have some kind of transformation possibly. But while they're fighting, it cuts back to Vegeta in the final page of the chapter. He looks down at one of like the footprints in the ground that came from one of the Saiyans in like their Uzaro mode. And he says, yes, I see. It's all making sense now. I think I know who he is. Hopefully Vegeta is going to be the one that puts an end to this misunderstanding. Although I do want to see him fight Granolah. Maybe that's not necessarily what Vegeta has to do here. Maybe he'll wind up fighting Gas or Frieza once he Vegeta eventually shows up. But yeah, I just really do think that Vegeta is set up to be the arbitrator here, but we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. What do you think is going to happen between Goku, Granolah, and Vegeta here? And if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.